Very controversial. I'm just being a jerk. It's no big deal. By the way, did you ever have an Achilles? What was your biggest surgery?
No, but I had some foot stuff. Yeah, I broke my foot twice, and then I ruptured my plantar fascia in both my feet. So all my issues were feet, but I never, thankfully, did Achilles. That's like everybody's worst nightmare. That's like if you do anything in the world, it's fine. You just can't tear your Achilles. That's always the worst one.
I do think with with Aaron, their offensive line is either old or rookies. And I think to myself, I'd love O-line. Like Detroit's O-line is in their prime. Atlanta's guys in their prime. Those are great O-lines. Do you worry a little bit with Aaron that it's an older player? When you come off an injury, Greg, maybe you didn't, but quarterbacks have a blind side that you got to, sometimes you know you're safe, but you got to convince your brain you're upright. And that do you worry about that as and by the way, Greg, veteran offensive linemen no longer play in the preseason. It's the hardest unit to get cohesion. You know that. You were a blocking tight end as well as a catching one. I've said this. In a different era, I think they'd be fine. I worry about all the movement and all these new faces for the Jets on the O-line not playing in the preseason. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's real. And listen, the reality is you're only going to go as far as those guys. We spend so much time, understandably so, talking about quarterbacks and skill positions and the ability to score points and systems and offensive coordinators. And yes, it's an offensive-driven league and all that. You can only do from a system, from what you ask of your quarterback to what you ask of your skill group, you can only do what your offensive line allows you to do. If your offensive line is not a drop-back protecting group, they're not really good 5-on-5. They're not going to build a pocket, be firm in the middle, two big tackles that can keep the width and the depth. You got to be an under-center play-action team. If you're a very road-grading, physical, maybe not overly athletic, but more of like a downhill linear offensive line, especially at the guard positions, you've got to be downhill run game. You're not going to do a lot of wide zones. You're not going to do a lot of pin and pulls where you're asking your offensive lineman to get out in space. So every offense really takes on the identity of their quarterback, yes. But after that, it takes on the identity of their offensive line. You can do or not do whatever they're good at or they struggle at. Like, that's the job of an offensive coordinator. And that's the part I don't think people spend enough time talking about. You're going to see teams continue to invest in offensive lines, continue to spend money in free agency, draft picks. Like, if you don't have 7 offensive linemen, at the least 6, that 6 guy that can kind of swing and play everywhere, you're going to have to put out a lot of fires. You're going to have to really rely on the movement of your quarterback, buying time. And we saw it last year with Mahomes as that O-line settled in and had their issues in the middle of the season. Is that what you want Rodgers to be? Like, is he going to run around and do all that? I'm not sure at the age, the injury. So you're 100% right. The offensive line sets the tone for your identity. And I think the Jets realize that.
It's interesting. I really think Bo Nix was perfect for Sean Payton. I love Michael Penix. I think Jaden Daniels is underrated. Caleb's terrific. I worry about Drake May for a lot of reasons. Footwork, inconsistent, no weapons. But my take is that because quarterbacks now come in, it's a cottage industry. It's actually beyond that. It's an industry. Quarterback play, high school, 7-on-7s. People make livings now dealing with high school quarterbacks. These kids come out with 10,000 snaps. Is that I used to believe you got 3 years. I don't. I believe by your second Thanksgiving, people in the building have made a decision. They're not going public with it, but they've made a decision. And I just think that's fair. I think these kids, Bo Nix has 61 college starts. If I can't figure it out by the second Thanksgiving, I should fire my scouts and my personnel people. When you were in Carolina and Cam, how long does it take for you to go, yeah, that works? How many snaps, how many practices did you drive home, tell your wife, yeah, we got a guy like that? That's pretty good.
Yeah, so obviously the quarterback position is the one. I think back to my first year in Carolina, we had no offseason. That was the lockout year of 2011. I got traded there right at the start of training camp. Cam was drafted, obviously earlier in the offseason in April, but we had no mini camp. We had no, the guys did some workouts, but there was nothing official. So really, we didn't know and get together as a group until, end of July. There was quarterback competition. Jimmy Clausen was the incumbent starter in his second year, was the starter as a rookie the previous season. Obviously, we drafted Cam 1 overall. After like 3 practices, you go back to your dorm and you're like, he's a rookie. Obviously, he's learning the system. Okay. But this dude is just different. Like, and you don't even really know how to quantify it. It's kind of like one of those things, like, you can't explain it, but you know it when you see it. Like, it took like 3 days to be like, he might make the wrong read. He's young. Every young quarterback's going to go through their growing pains. But there are not many people on the planet that can do what this guy did. I don't need 2 months to figure that out. We need to make an offense. We need to make a terminology, an offense, a system and structure. That's not what's good for me, what's good for our wide receiver, or what's good for Cam Newton, and how do we get this dude to be the dominant player that he was in college? How do we put him in a position to be that dominant player? Like, we learned that pretty quickly here in Carolina. Like, we were only going to go as far as this guy, and he's pretty unique and talented, so we might as well just do what he's really good at. But yeah, I think this notion that it's going to take 2 years, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the notion that it takes 2 years to find out whether a guy can play or not at the quarterback position, and not when you take them that high in the draft. You're a first-round quarterback. I'm with you. I got to know pretty soon, am I onto something here, or are we all looking for new jobs? Because let's be honest, if you miss, you very rarely get a chance to draft 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
Every once in a while, there's that example. But you take a quarterback high, it's usually because you stunk, or you bet the farm to trade up to get him. If that guy doesn't work out and you don't hit, the next quarterback they draft is probably playing for somebody else. That's today's NFL. You don't have a million years to figure this out.
So you are in Nashville for a few days, Tight End University, 4th year you're doing this. And so ESPN had a researcher, and I forget the name, I apologize, but he came out and said if you go to the last 20 drafts, the 2 positions, first-round positions, that miss the most are receiver and tight end. So my theory on tight end is, this is why Iowa's so good with tight end, is that most college tight ends don't block like you're asked to block in pro football. They can go vertical. They're that 6'6", good-looking athlete. But the reason you and Tony Gonzalez worked is because you put your hands on people. And so when you do this tight end university and explain it a little bit, who gets to go? Who are you looking? Are these high school, college? The position to me now is unfairly paid. I think there's football cyclical. I think tight ends, there's a reason they moved off Tyreek Hill and not Travis Kelce. Like, there's a reason they won a Super Bowl. Who are you talking to at this camp, and what do you see with young tight ends? Are they the same 10 years ago, asked to do more or less?
Yeah, I think the position's really come a long way, and I think the timing of TEU and really starting. So how it started, back in 2021, I had just retired my last season out in Seattle, and I was just going back and forth with Kittle, and I've gotten to know Kelce and a bunch of these guys, and we just had this idea. We're like, hey, let's get together in Nashville. That's where Kittle lives with, a couple, Hawkinson and a couple other young guys around the league that live in Nashville in the offseason, and let's just get a handful of guys, 5-10 guys, and just do a couple days workout. I'll come down and it'll be a blast. Well, that group grew to 20 to 30. And next thing you know, we're like, all right, we're on to something here. The demand and the interest. We got Kelce involved, obviously brings a lot of credibility, having Kelce and Kittle and myself, kind of spearheading this. So we're in year 4. Last year we had 85 guys. We do it at Vanderbilt University. They give us their entire facility. We get meeting rooms. We get treatment rooms. We bring in, PT therapists, massage. We have people present on taking care of your body. We have people present on all different types of subjects. And then obviously the deep dive of film work, classroom and field is blocking, route running. And, we get presentations from, Kelce and Kittle, and Dallas Clark was a part of it and gave a really good presentation. So just both former and current guys, the best in the business. And if you're an NFL tight end, you are eligible to come. So again, we go from Kelce and Kittle, who are at the top of the position, all the way down to young undrafted rookies who are trying to make the team. And the idea is share information. Let's develop the position. And I think the timing was so good because, like you said, the evolution of the position from when I came into the league in 2007, and there was a handful of good tight ends, right? It was Gonzalez and Witten and Gates and the tail end of Shannon Sharp. Now it seems like every team has a prominent guy. So it's been really cool. We pay for it all. We put the guys up. We have great sponsors, Charmin and Bud Light. They give us the money and the ability to really do a first-class event. And guys come every year. I wish we had room for 200 guys. It just continues to grow. And the information that's shared is just really unique. And I'm not sure there's a position in sports or whatever that does something like this to the level that we do it, where guys just can't wait to come back, because it's both fun and these guys leave and they say, like, I'm going to be able to make a career based on a lot of the things that I learned over these 3 days.
By the way, a minute left. Brock Bowers went to Vegas, the tight end from Georgia. He went from Napa Valley wine country to the South and crushed. He's about the best college tight end I've seen. When you watched him, because I know you watch college football, Greg, a minute left. When you watched him, did you say lock, guarantee, anything that flawed? What did you make of him?
Yeah, I think he would have went even higher. I know he had a little injury stuff during the pre-draft combine, the pre-draft preparation and the combines and stuff, where I'm not even sure if he ran. I think he had like a hamstring or something. Dealt with a little injury, last year at Georgia. I think if he would have been able to come out the previous draft, I think you're talking like a top 5-7 pick. Like, I'm with you. He might be the best college tight end, production-wise, just the eye test, that I've ever really seen. I mean, his size, his ability to run in the open field. I mean, he's playing SEC football, catching 12-yard dig routes and outrunning secondary defenders from LSU, Alabama. He's not beating up on small-town guys.
Yeah.
He's really impressive. I think they got a steal with him. And I think the combination of him and the young kid from Notre Dame there from last year that they drafted, they got two young tight ends they can build around and for a long time out there in Vegas.
Greg Olsen, Fox Sports, Tight End University this summer, June 17th to the 20th in Nashville. Everything you do is thoughtful and smart. Appreciate you stopping by. Good luck in the camp, my man.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Colin.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.